Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner. I'm Elsie Johnson. We are two sisters, Southern Cooking.
Debbie and Elsie. We are here doing our apple pear pie today, and Elsie and I have had some problems in the past with pies holding up, and we were talking about this, so we started doing an investigation on it because we were like, there is no way that you can have a pie in a restaurant,
Especially a fruit pie.
or somebody makes a pie and the pie doesn't stand up and you cut it and it stands perfectly beautiful. So we started looking into it. So we decided we were going to start replacing our flour, our cornstarch, whatever was in our ingredients, and we were going to use tapioca flour because it is a natural thickener and it doesn't change the color, it doesn't change the taste or anything. And you can also use clear gel, which will do the same thing. But the conversion on these are crazy. So
Yeah, it's weird.
So the conversion for the tapioca flour is equal to flour. So if you have 1 cup of flour, it's a cup of tapioca flour. If it is the clear gel, it's 1 cup and it equals 2 cups of the tapioca flour minus 2 tablespoons. So
Right.
it's just a massive amount of confusion. But the thing is you thicken it up until it's thick, and your pie will hold up and it'll be beautiful and you can eat it. It's not going to harm you. And so that's what we decided to do.
Instead of all your filling, just when you cut the pie, the filling just spreads like liquid.
And I know it happens to more people than you think, because I know it happened to us a lot. You can use these in your cream pies as well as cakes, puddings, any kind of thing that you mix together on the stove or you bake or cook, you can mix it in. And it'll help with that.
It'll help keep the thickness to your pie, and it's good. It doesn't change any taste.
And the other thing is the process of, if you want a little more thickening in your, say, your filling of your fruit pie, put it on the stove and cook it, because that helps to thicken it up too.
That's one thing that we've learned is, and watching Erin McDowell, that's another tip that we've learned from her is when you take fresh fruit and just throw it in your pie and bake it, you can't control the moisture. So by cooking it, you release all the pectin in it first, so you get your liquid adjusted before you ever put it in your pie crust. So I'm telling you, you really should subscribe to her, or if you don't, just go to her YouTube page and watch.
She has a lot of great tips.
She has a lot of great tips, and by cooking your fruit first, you take away the guessing game because you get your consistency before you ever put it in your pie crust.
And it helps too, and sometimes you don't even have to put the tapioca flour in thicker.
Right,
pie dough.
because it will actually thicken on its own, and you will have your consistency where you want it,
right,
before you ever put it in your pie shell.
So it will take that runniness of your pie out of the game, and you will be able to control that better. So.
Right.
Elsie, while you are mixing we have 12 cups of apples and pears sliced. These are fresh. Elsie's going to mix that in the bowl, and then she's going to pour this over top of it. This is our mixture here. This also has the tapioca flour, brown sugar, salt, ginger, and cinnamon in it. And then while she's doing that, I'm melting the butter in the little saucepan. And we are going to be doing 2 things at once here.
And then we have vanilla and lemon juice to put over your fruit, and that'll actually keep the color of your fruit instead of letting it turn brown or whatever.
And it also keeps it fresh too.
Right.
And thank you, Mom, for bringing us over some butter. By the way, Elsie and I did something pretty cool earlier. So we went to the grocery store yesterday because we were buying our stuff for the Heroes Day. And so we went and found some Irish butter. So we put that in our pie crust this morning. So we used Erin McDowell's recipe, but we did it our own way. Because we have to make things our way, and we also have to be able to give you other ideas on how to do things. That's our goal, is to teach you how to think outside of the box. Because not everything is the same thing over and over again, but you can use what you need. And let me just make sure this is melted here. If you've ever followed our recipe also for the fried apples that we do, the ones that we actually just cook and eat, and oh my God, those are amazing. Had somebody at work try it. She went to our page and got our our recipe from our little YouTube page on the website, and she came in the next day and she told me that her family told her that she has to make it at Thanksgiving because it was the best thing that she's ever cooked, and she made an apple pear split it. So she kind of like took our recipes together.
Right.
So she took our fried apples and she made it as our ingredient.
And you can do that because.
And then remember the peach crisp that we did? She took the recipe for that and put the apples in it instead of the peaches instead. And she made that. And she's like, her family was going crazy over it. So seriously, guys, you can do whatever you want to with this. Recipes, ingredients, whatever. Make it your own.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Fruit. You can. It's like your peach, blueberry, strawberry pie you did last week. We're doing a peach and raspberry pie today.
It's similar in texture. We're also going to be using the tapioca flour in that to give it more of a thickening agent in it, because we don't want it to be runny. We want it to be able to hold up. But you can do whatever you want to with recipes. You can make it up, because
it's like the one I made up. I made up the apple grape cobbler, and it was so good. I mean, it was that one you really don't want to do when scuppernongs or muscadines are in season, because the texture of those grapes is the right texture that you want for that type of, because you utilize the skins. And a regular table grape doesn't have the right texture. But I mean, the sky's the limit. You can create. Just, if you don't know what you're doing, Google it. Because Google has conversion charts. They have everything you'd ever want. If you don't understand what you're doing and you want to try something new,
and you're ready to
do
put
it.
in.
Yep, I think I got it all mixed.
Oh, that looks really delicious, Elsie, honestly. We're gonna cook these for 10 to 20 minutes and let the thickening agent in it naturally thicken it up.
Fruit has natural pectin, especially like seeded fruit like pears, apples, pretty much any kind of apple has a natural pectin in it. So when you cook it, the pectin releases and thickens naturally. We're just helping that to thicken a little more than the natural would do.
That's going to be delicious. I can tell you that right now. I just tasted the juices from it. So we're going to let this cook for 10 to 20 minutes, and then when that's done, we got to let it cool down. Then we're going to bring out our pie shells that we made earlier and the tops, and we'll roll out the tops, and then we'll make it all nice and pretty and put it in the oven. We'll get it cooking. And
that's going to be a big pie. That's going to be a lot of fruit in it.
That is. I'm actually thinking we're probably going to have to put some of it up.
Well, we may, but we'll see. We'll see.
So anyway, what we're going to do after this is we're going to also start getting our peach raspberry filling together too also. So stand by for that too as well. So we'll be right back, guys. So we are rolling out our pie dough right now. We have our dough already in our pan here. We let it sit in the fridge. You normally only let it sit for 30 minutes, but we were fixing our pie filling because we were trying to do both of them. So we wanted to get them done so we could cool them down enough to get them into our pie shell. So Elsie and I both know that you have to have a bench scraper always whenever you're baking because you never know when you're going to get stuck to your surface. So Elsie is using her marble pastry board and her marble rolling pin. I don't have anything fancy like that. I just have the simple.
This is a Pampered Chef and I love it.
So she has the fancy schmancy stuff. So
this was a gift last Christmas.
was it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want you to have this pretty thin, but not too thin. Just enough to be able to hold a little bit of,
straighten that out a little bit. Try to get it as round as we can. Okay, I think we got it to where we can put our filling in and then try to lay this over top.
okay. So what I'm going to do while she's doing that and getting that prepared, I'm going to go ahead and put in our filling. So okay, we got it nice and thick. I'm going to fill it up. We're going to roll that pastry dough up onto her rolling pin, or however she chooses to get it in here.
I got it up without the rolling pin, hopefully.
So that's got some nice spring in it then. Look at that, that's really thick. And that's because of the tapioca flour.
Okay.
We need to spread that out a little
Yep.
bit.
Yep. Spread it to the edges.
All right. I do declare, I think we're ready.
Okay.
We just put the pie into the oven. We put it in at 425, and we're going to cook it on that for 15 minutes, and then we're going to lower it to 375 for 50 to 60 minutes. Prior to putting it in, we did a little bit of the turbinado sugar on the top. We sprinkled that on top after we basted it with a little bit of whole milk. You can use heavy cream, you can use water. And once we put that in there, we put it in the oven. Put a pan underneath it too, because it's going to drip. So we're hoping that it thickens up though. But we will show you the results when we get it out of the oven.
I'm Elsie. And I'm Debbie. With Two Sisters Southern Cooking.
We thank you for visiting our page.